Renfrew Development Trust is a fairly new organisation. We became a charity in January 2015 and it's been a really exciting year for the Trust. The Trust was set up by community members in about 2013 as a steering group, and it really gained momentum within the last few years. The aims of the Trust are pretty much around social, economic and physical regeneration of the town of Renfrew. In 2015 we were lucky enough to receive funding from the Scottish Government through their Town Centre Action Plan money to take forward the Town Centre Action Plan for Renfrew. We have an office, there's myself and my colleague Melissa, 2 members of staff. We have a few volunteers to help support the work that we've done. For 2 months throughout November and December, Renfrewshire Council gave us a pop-up venue in Dunlop Crescent, which we were able to run as an exhibition centre as well as a craft shop and a place where we were able to hold community events.
The moments that pass without a blink.
Over the piece, I think we had over 300 people attending the pop-up shop, which is great because it's the first time anything ever has been done like this in Renfrew, and it's given us a fantastic springboard for the Trust to take forward. We aim to provide different community-based activities every week. In a nutshell, we provided an astronomy night, a couple of cinemas, a craft shop, an exhibition by the young people from the Kibble. They were all free activities that people could come along to and enjoy. Part of what the I Heart Renfrew is about and what the Renfrew Development Trust is about supporting the local pound, keeping money in Renfrew, supporting local traders, supporting local businesses.
We came down and had a chat with Bridget about what they were looking for, and then we went round the pubs asking if there was any interest in a music festival. We found there was plenty of interest in that, so we then applied for some funding, then I booked acts and set up the festival.
No one will hear 'cause you're far too remote.
We obviously try to provide as wide a cross-section of acts as possible, so we were working with children as young as 15, up until acts over 60, and the range was from acoustic acts, gypsy bands, blues combos, jazz, ska. There was no end, so we did cover a wide cross-section of music.
It was like a really good experience because obviously you've got like a varied age of like acts, but getting young people in is really helpful because then if you're young as well, you can meet other young acts and you can like help each other, and there's not that many gigs for under 18s. Like I had people that I knew come to support me, from like my friends to like my younger sister and my parents and stuff, and then like obviously there were the people there, and it was like a variety of young and old depending on where you went, and like it was just like a really good atmosphere anyway, and even though it was raining it didn't like dampen it at all. It was really nice. It was fun, especially in like the Ferry Inn, and there was just this really nice vibe. They asked me to play again, so it's stuff like that.
We really try to engage with the business community to get them on side, to be able to increase the footfall in the town. Test the idea of whether or not music festivals is something that Renfrew wants, and it's come through really clearly that there's a real passion and energy for us to do that again, so we'll be running another one of those hopefully in the summer of 2016.
The response was fantastic. Pubs were a lot busier than they normally would have been at that time of year. The reason that it does work is because that we support the pubs in advertising the events, prior to the event and beyond any other events that they run throughout the year leading up to another festival. We would support the pubs in promoting events and the shops as well.
Feels like I'm in a new dimension, and I just gotta release this tension.
We have a stalled space project happening, starting in January, that'll run through till the summer, which is about bringing back to life the disused toilets on Shinnon Road. It's an intergenerational exercise working with young people from the YMCA and residents of the Renfrew Care Home, trying to capture their memories of Renfrew and turn it into an installation. And the reason for that is to add a bit of life back to an area that's currently derelict, as well as actually teaching young people skills around interviewing, facilitation, photography. We'll continue working with the Glasgow School of Art architecture students, doing our community consultation, looking at the buildings that we have in the town, which is part of our town centre action plan, looking at potential uses for the buildings.
So we're working with 4 students of architecture, first of all to, I suppose, observe the way Renfrew is, to kind of spend time in the place, participating in the life of the town, and then kind of drawing observations from that analysis that then start to lead to potential strategies or interventions that the Development Trust might be able to use to kind of work with the town going forward. And what we're trying to do with the Trust is find ways that they can become a kind of driver of positive change. And by being a kind of organisation that's not either private sector or public sector, it maybe becomes something that's a bit more democratic, a bit more open and a bit more accessible in terms of local people and their own ideas. Now it's quite a critical time for kind of intervening and trying to find uses for kind of buildings and structures and sites in the town that have started to kind of suffer from a lack of attention over kind of the last 5 or 10 years. The historical fabric of the town centre is actually, it's quite strong. The recent refurbishment work on the town hall and the public realm shows that actually its kind of physical character has a lot of potential if it is maintained and if it is kind of brought back into use.
Development trusts are charities. We're a charitable company and we're totally independent and autonomous. We have a board of 10 directors who are made up of local Renfrew people. They provide the governance support that any charity needs, but they also lead and direct the work of the Trust. By being a member, you have a vote at our AGM, but we also keep you updated with progress, consultations and any work that's going on. We're always on the lookout for new members. Memberships are what give Development Trust their strength and the credibility to move forward. So if you care about Renfrew, you care about what goes on, we strongly encourage you to become a member and have a voice and have a say in how your town develops.